Okay, video number 18. Okay, so basically what we were talking about was weather, okay, and how simple things like nature we think is horrible. And how is it horrible? How do we think that nature is horrible? We're part of nature. Getting the connection, thinking things are horrible that are natural. Understand? We don't think it's horrible. The ego thinks it's horrible. You understand? You understand now how the ego plays a big, big part of what you feel, what you do, judgments that you make, all of this stuff. It's not natural. Most of nature, you know, animals, they don't have the brain power we do. Although they say dolphins are pretty close as far as brain power. I mean, they are very intelligent animals. I believe so are octopuses, but nevertheless, they don't speak, but they speak to each other, and they know quite a bit. That's the way I feel. But they don't have ego. Animals don't have ego per se. In certain instances, they have pack. There's an order to the pack, and they do fight for, being the leader of the pack and stuff like that. Which, if you think about it, that's what we do. That's more of an animal trait than it is a human trait. Humans are supposed to be evolved above this, but we're not. We think we are. We play the game that we are, but we're really not. We're animals in lots of ways because we're a species. We're just the most evolved species. And even with how evolved we are, and articulate and talk and build wonderful, amazing things, we still revert back to our primitive instincts. We're past that a long time ago, but it's still in us. It's in us because part of it is the ego holding on to it. Way deep down somewhere in that head, that other 90% that we ain't using, we have no idea what it's doing. You don't. And if you think you do, well, you're fooled again. Because I know I had no idea the stuff that I was doing, the stuff I was feeling, why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Again, why would I be depressed about weather? I thought about it. I'm like, it's a natural thing. We need it. We need for it to rain, for the rest of nature to continue. Water is a source, a major source of life. There is something to water, and a lot of ancient cultures believed that there was a lot of things to water that we don't understand. It's one of the only elements that we know that can survive in three. It has three different states: frozen, evaporated, and liquid. I think that's one of the only ones. If not, maybe there's more, but I think it's one of the only ones. And it is a life source. We all made 70% of water, so it has a lot of play in who we are and all of that stuff. I believe that, but nevertheless, let's get back to news and stuff like that. There's a song, everybody likes Dirty Laundry, an older song that I grew up with. That we do. Even though we hate it, we want to hear it. It's like when an accident happens and you have to stop to see it's how horrible it is, or if anybody got hurt. It's not like you're gonna go help them. Most people just drive by anyway. You're not gonna go help the person. You just have to see. I don't know. Is it anybody I know? Odds are it's not. Very rarely is. I mean, 1 out of 1 million. So why do we look? Of course, everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to gossip. Everybody wants to talk about something. That's all we do is talk. That's all the ego wants to do is, strive for uh, strive for being known, for speaking. Look at me. They want attention. Everybody who wants attention on TikTok. What do you think that is? That's ego. Ego wants that attention. No matter what, that's basically what it is. You know, the more followers that you have, ooh, look at me. I could dance. I could sing. I just have I'm just good looking. I just have a nice body. Okay, great. Nothing against it. But I know where it is, what that's coming from. It's not from the real person or the person that I believe is real, because I believe that we're all have the same life force in us. Whatever you want to call it. You call it spirit. I think I want to call it life force, because spirit also has an annotation to it, meditation, spiritual cleansing. You know, I'm not saying that it's not possible. Do I believe in it? Nah, not really. You know, I was taught a long time ago that meditation, if you need to meditate and sit silent for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, you know, I don't believe you're living then. What it is just shutting down. You're not living. You should be able to not have to meditate, because there's nothing to meditate about. That's the ego's way of, it's like a artificial cleansing. It's not a real cleansing. You didn't get rid of the ego. It's still there. So, I mean, yeah, you might, you know, it might work for some people, but it's not what I'd call, you know, being alive. You have to shut down and just sit in one position quietly for 30 minutes, an hour a day. An hour a day, that's 7 hours a week. That's almost a full work day that you shut down. Cleansing, spiritual cleansing with, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't know the basics of spiritual cleansing. I know that there's, you know, feng shui and all of that stuff. Again, it's nothing that you could actually prove. It's just people's opinion. There's no proof in that scientifically, at least scientifically. Give me, you know, give me something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think, uh, all right, as far as meditating, there is deep thinking. Let's just say Buddha did supposedly meditate, like under the, when he was under the tree, and he said he would not move. It wasn't as much meditating, I guess. He was just, you know, uh, clearing his mind for his next, for his big awakening, which is good, because awakening is a matter of shutting down your brain. But to shut it down all the time is excellent. It's the best thing that you could do, is not having continuous thoughts running through your head. It is amazing. You will lose anxiety, depression, which is two of the biggest things that you could think of. That's two of the biggest things that you could think of. Anger. You know, if you have to lose anger, that means that you're angry all the time, and that's not a good thing just to begin with. So you have to learn how to uh, control the mind. Don't become the tool of the mind or the ego. Become the watcher of these things. Become in control. Backing. When you control your mind, you become who we all are. The mind is so powerful and so strong, and there's so much of it that we don't understand. Like I said, there's 90% of it not being used. Really, not being used. I have no idea what 100% of brain power could do.